Alright. Hi, everyone. Sailor Moon here. Serena here. And my head crooked. Needs to be straight. Or up a little. Alright. And today we're going to talk about, I don't know what we're going to talk about. Oh, yeah. So today we're going to talk about the Irwin doll stands one more time and about just how bad they are. Now, we already talked about how bad the Irwin doll stands are. But for anyone who's ever gotten the Irwin toy Sailor Moon dolls, or even Bandai Sailor Moon dolls, that were made anywhere between 95 while to 2001 while, knows just how badly made these stands are. First off, you get two kinds of stands. Stands for dolls that wear boots, like me, and then dolls that wear shoes or high heel shoes like Sailor Jupiter, Sailor King World here. And the dolls that wear boots will fit right in their stands. No bind. But if you have a doll wear shoes or high heel shoes, because those are the only kind of shoes in Sailor Moon's world there are probably others, then the doll isn't going to stand in the stand right. Either one or two things will happen. One, the doll will either bend backwards or just fall down altogether. And I know a lot of folks out there will guilt it on, oh, well, those stands or what you're putting them on. Like a round board or a round board or whatever. They'll say, oh, the ground, the floor, the board, whatever you're putting it on isn't good for those kind of stands. I mean, bullshit. At the end of the day, it should be good enough. But no. Most of the time they just kind of like lean to the side or fall over. And this is the only board I have where that doesn't seem to be a thing. But why is it? Why did Irwin Toy not know how to make doll stands for dolls wearing shoes or high heel shoes that couldn't hold them right? Like, what was that all about? And I don't really know if anyone really has the answer. I'm giving my guess here. My guess was that the team that were making the stands were not the same team that was making the shoes or the boots. And it's my belief that the folks making the stands for the boots were working together, but the folks that were making the stands and the shoes were not working together. I don't know. I mean, it's not like the dolls came with a little handbook that says this is how you put them in the stands or something. No, they don't. And sooner or later, a lot of folks that somehow wrestled or fought to get any doll wearing shoes into a stand, well, I take my cap or hat off to you if I had one, which I don't, but I would all the same. You folks, are not going to ever take them out of the stand. And maybe that's the thing. Maybe they were never meant to be taken out of the stand. I don't know. That's bullshit. I mean, sorry, forgive my English, but it is. I mean, it's like right now, where we're filming at on this board is like the only time that the Irwin doll stands holding were for dolls wearing shoes seems to work. They're not leaning backwards. Well, no, I take that back. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning backwards a little, Sailor Moon, but not as badly as you would think. But I'm still leaning kind of backwards. So it's almost if the doll stand still can't hold weight. And you're right, Sailor Moon. Why is it that if Sailor Moon dolls that wear shoes instead of boots, why is it that the stands have a hard time holding them? Why is it that we either lean backwards, as you can see in this film, or we just fall right off the stands like you've seen in many or sundry films that we have made, or live streams, or uploads, or whatever shorts that we have made. Like, why is that? And I don't know anyone's ever going to truly give me an answer that would be the right answer. I mean, and I know someone's going to say, oh, well, Irwin Toy had a arm over in the settled land that was making all the shit for them. You know, Bandai had a arm they owned in Eastland that was putting all that shit together for them. So someone over there didn't know how to make doll stands to fit shoes right, but someone knew how to make doll stands for boots to fit right. You know, and whatever the forgiveness was for why it's like that, it is sad. You know, it is sad. It's almost if the stands were never meant to hold them up. But you can see that I'm on the stand right now. It is holding me up. I am bending a little backwards, but not as leaning a little back, but not as bad as it would be if I was, I don't know, on the floor, on the ground, or on a sundry boards in a kitchen or in the eating room, we'll say, or outside or whatever, or even in here, the bedroom. So why is that? And sooner or later, we're going to get doll stands, 12 of them from Amazon or Strong Woman when they ever get around to shipping them out. And we won't have to worry about the Irwin toy doll stands and us falling backwards or falling down or leaning backwards or whatever. Well, you're right about that, Sailor Jupiter. You're right about that, Lita. Fuck. I mean, it would be good if we did have doll stands. You know, it would be good. We'll never know why Irwin had such a hard time making doll stands that could hold dolls wearing shoes instead of boots. We'll never know why Bandai had a hard time making stands for dolls that wear shoes instead of boots, because they both were making each other's dolls. Yeah, Irwin may have had to sell some of the dolls that Bandai made going back to that. Yeah, Irwin did started to make some of the dolls the same way that Bandai was making them, with the longer noses, the leers. At first, Bandai started making them, then Irwin would make them, and they both seem to have both businesses, even though both businesses started shifting the way they were making the dolls, the Sailor Moon dolls. Sadly, they both didn't know how to make dolls. That if dolls wear shoes, then they didn't know how to make a stand to hold us right. But if we wore boots, then that's what Irwin and Bandai were good at. So we'll never know. Give your thoughts on it. Tell me what you think. I, Sailor Moon Serena, and I, Sailor Jupiter, Sailor King World Lita. We'll see you later. Give this film a like, share, and playlist it.